Yeah, no worries.
Okay, thank you so much for joining us. So I hear
Yeah.
you're coming from another company or group that you perform with or you work with. I heard that
Yeah,
you started out at the beginning. So why don't you tell us a little bit
yeah.
about yourself?
So CLI is it's a class out of University of Southern California. I'm pretty sure. And basically you work on your writing every week. You get feedback with other people in your class. And then you like have writing prompts. They go through different forms of poetry. And then at the end you meet with publishers and you get a publication deal is the goal. So
Good. Okay.
to write a book.
Yeah, that's perfect. Okay, so is that your goal? Have you written or published your books yet?
I haven't written or published anything. I actually don't have anything published at all.
No, it's
But
okay, but you're working toward that. I mean, you're taking the classes, it seems like, because that's maybe
yeah,
your end goal.
yeah, I do more performance poetry. So I've done more like open mics, and then I'm a teaching artist as well. So I go into schools and I teach youth about poetry and how to write their story and how to, talk about the hard stuff. So.
Good. Okay, that's great. So you're definitely giving back to the community with what you have a passion for. So that's wonderful. Okay, great. And where are you coming from? Where are you at right currently?
Grand Rapids, Michigan. So it's in the mitten on the East Coast. So
Okay,
it's also 10 o'clock here.
right. Okay. Well, thank you for being on so late with us. We definitely appreciate that. And what's the name of the poem you have chosen for tonight?
Yeah, it's called Contemplation, and just the content warning, it does have suicidal ideation. So if any of that is triggering or anything, please feel free to step out.
Right. Oh, thank you for letting people know. Definitely mute it if you have any, like she said, any triggers. Okay. All right. We will let you get started.
Okay. I was 8 years old when I wrote my first suicide letter. At 8, I wanted to die. Found that life was too difficult and wished for a time machine, shaking, pen hand, trembling my goodbyes across red construction paper, shouting silence to the world. I don't belong. Never belonged. Tears smudging letters, creating thumbprints, evidence of my existence I wanted to wash away. Moments fled the mind, moments alone at this table with thoughts and a pen. As a child, I watched my family drown themselves with poison and addiction so they didn't have to feel anymore. Everyone was slowly committing suicide, so I decided to write mine. At 14, I took razor blades to my arms, trying to cut the hurt off, trying to get rid of the evidence of my failures. I took scissors to my legs and stomach, trying to cut my fat away, shaking scissors interlaced in defiant fingers, cutting the moments away, ridding my body of ugly, of laughing, pointing children, mooing in the hallway, hoping to be my own liposurgeon. At 15, I found my uncle's suicide letter written on canvas so elegantly, telling everyone it wasn't their fault and not to blame themselves. I spent hours at my uncle's grave contemplating why, justifying his reasons and then justifying mine. I imagined his moment, staring down the black hole barrel of a gun, the smell of dumpster death lingering, contemplating the moments that came to this, counting the bullets in the chamber, 1, 2, 3, each a different tragedy leading to this. One click into position, raise the black hole where an outstretched hand should be, a heart should be. He went unnoticed. He left like the silence of a tree in the woods that nobody heard. With one click, I always dreamt of how we could both be happy when we met in spirit. I'd fly through the clouds and greet him with a smile, letting him know that our kind were too great for this physical world. At 23, I wrapped a belt around my neck, the belt to end the nuisance of breathing I pulled, playing tug of war with my breath before collapsing to the floor and clutching the dying inside me, wheezing in and out of a self-induced asthmatic attack, each belt notch marking a tragedy, a devastating moment coming to where the belt loop met the strap. At 25, I learned that my brother drove his truck at a tree. Key burning in ignition, foot on the pedal, revving the engine to life. He never felt so alive. Shifter in park, just 3 shifts down, 1, 2, 3. And the moment of adrenaline, the moment of impact, fingers caress the button, contemplating the moments. 3 shifts down. Engine charging ahead, tree in sight as he closed his eyes. My brother wouldn't be here if he hadn't gotten stuck in the mud right before the crash. That's when I stopped dreaming of my own death, when I realized that someone I loved and cared about was dreaming of theirs. Thank you.
Beautiful. Thank you. Thank you so much. Yeah, thank you for sharing that. That is beautiful. The description and what I like most is how you incorporated the age. Like you started young at 8, right? And then you moved all the way up, and it's like you're in these different time periods, you know. So it's coming from the eyes of someone from these different age and time periods, and then at each time period, you're describing, you know, the different events, the different people who have gone through a different, you know, situation, completely different. Like you said, for the gun to the, you know, to the car going into the tree. So it was beautifully written. It sounds like you really put a lot of time and thought into that one, and it's appreciated because there's so many, like, you know, so many people out there that go through different situations that can relate, you know, to these things. I loved it. I loved it. Let me hear what AJ, some feedback from AJ real quick. AJ, I've unmuted you.
Thank you. Definitely, yeah, it was amazing. I keep using that word, but all of you guys are just keep doing great, and it's just, keeps hitting me hard. But it was definitely heartfelt, and I love how you tied in oh my goodness, contemplation in many different forms. Wasn't just, one time contemplating, or even that. No, it was multiple times. It was a different form of contemplation, which in a different perspective, which rung with me. And it did give me goosebumps, some of the scenes. So the imagery was there. I have to say that. So
Very much
amazing.
imagery. Yeah, very good. And
Yeah,
that's where some of our best poems can come from, honestly, you know.
yeah,
To help, it doesn't just help us deal, but to know that it can help others as well, like the way you just shared it with passion like that. And I'm happy you're able to perform your poetry and not just, you know, have someone read it like from a paper, because it comes off much more, it comes off different and better as far as the imagery goes. For us to hear it, the passion in your voice when you're reading it, and, you know, up and down on the certain words and phrases. So it was beautiful. Yeah, thank you for
thank you.
sharing.
Yeah, thank you for having me too.
Yes,
Thank you.
definitely, definitely. And we hope you come back for more, and definitely stay on to see the voting at the end.
Yeah, of course.